Another valiant effort for the Toronto Raptors ends in a loss. Let's go to the film room. Grady Dick popped in a major way offensively, shooting the ball in the first half, getting to his spots, but he was also stellar on the defensive end. The way Grady is able to succeed defensively is by using his length off of the ball. Here he is, great activity to get the steal. Raptors are in transition and he finishes with the layup alley-oop. Again, more great activity off of the ball. Jokic is hunting the switch here early in transition. Grady just reaches up over top, using his length to get the steal. Raptors are out and running. Thought this was also great activity on ball by Grady. Follows Christian Braun, goes under. He's learning the assignment and gets the block here. Great job using his hands and being active on the defensive end. And this is the highlight of the night for Grady Dick. You know, off of a missed shot, he realizes the outlet for Paul Watson is happening, and just a chase down block meets him at the summit and blocks it. Folks, again, using that length to be an impactful player on the defensive end is how Grady is going to succeed on D. I think one of the things that happened, though, was that because he exerted himself so much on the defensive end in the first half and he was hitting his shots offensively, in the second half, we started to see tired legs from Grady. Going back to that length idea, thought this was a great possession by Grady. Pick and roll. He recognizes that Jokic attacks the closeout, steps up as the low man, and contests a Nikola Jokic floater at the basket. Yes, it ended up in an offensive rebound, but that is great activity and great awareness from Grady. Just want you guys to watch Grady on this possession. Wonderful activity. Steps up as the help here on Jokic. Rotates out to Christian Braun. Great job of guarding that drive. Nuggets are trying to get the Raptors in rotation. He closes out on Jokic. Does a great job of running him off the spot. And it ends up in a stop for the Raptors. And so Grady was able to impact the game on both ends of the floor tonight. 26 points. He had an efficient 50% from the field. I think one of the things that was most intriguing to me was that he was so good in the first half. And he was so incredible at getting to his spots offensively, the defensive activity, that we eventually got to see what he could be at his best. It wasn't surprising to me. I've seen a lot of people in the comments talk about Grady as potentially being a negative defender. I would like to push back on that. I think Grady, for the most part this season, has not only improved, he's not a positive defender yet, but I think he's doing a way better job of using his length. You remember the block on Darius Garland. You remember the block that he had in the Nets game. There's moments that he has off of the ball where he's able to use his length, that 6'9" body, to be a deterrent, both as the weak side help. We saw it tonight against Denver, and as a guy who can really fill up passing lanes using his length. And so that's the way that Grady Dick wins on the defensive end. And if he can finally put it together, you know, this is going to be a progress for him eventually to get to that next step in his career. It's balancing the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball together so that you have the energy for both. Because I think we saw what happens when he is fully exerting himself on both ends of the floor. Offensively and defensively, he was great in the first half. He started to lose his legs a little bit in the second half. A lot of his jumpers fell short. A lot of his jumpers just felt like tired legs, to be honest with you. And so that's a process. That is the learning curve for a 21-year-old, 22-year-old Grady Dick. He looks sensational, absolutely incredible. And I actually think that people should focus more on the defensive side of the ball and how he's able to succeed, because we've had moments from him where he's popped and shown these flashes on the defensive end to the point where we shouldn't question that he could eventually become a positive defender. I actually think he can be a positive defender. The game itself was great. Obviously, a really tough loss for the Toronto Raptors. It was hard fought. They worked really, really hard again, and it felt like the team just wanted this one because of what had happened on Monday, the Scottie injury, the really close game against Denver. Felt like the team wanted this one. And obviously, I'm not saying that lightly. I think this is a team that is developmentally trying to win. They're not focusing on winning games. They would have loved to win this game, in my opinion. That being said, a couple of things happened in that fourth quarter. First of all, Like I mentioned, the tired legs from Grady Dick led to a few turnovers there when he was handling the ball, some misreads, etc. I thought the same thing applied to RJ Barrett, who struggled offensively as a scorer, but was elite as a playmaker. And Jakob Poeltl was incredible the entire game. He got fouled out in that fourth quarter. At that point, Jokic just was able to cook. He had a triple-double in the game, and he was able to take over completely. And so mistakes, turnovers, fouls, all that type of stuff. This is like the MO of a young team that is still trying to learn how to win basketball games. And I think the Nuggets just out-executed them in the fourth quarter. Yes, there were some things that I think we could look back on and say, hey, maybe it wasn't the right call. For example, the possession where Jonathan Mobo was kind of lingering and in a post-up situation, shot clock winding down. Darko Rajakovic had a timeout, did not elect to call his timeout there. Raptors got a shot clock violation. There were a couple other moments. I think in terms of like the final play, I'm happy with giving the ball to RJ Barrett there. I understand that Grady Dick had a better offensive game, but also Grady's legs were kind of shot at that point, and it felt like they were tired. I honestly thought RJ was kind of tired too. And so you're looking for ways for this team to succeed and close games, right? The hallmark, the very, very important thing to note about a young team is that they will find, like, the hallmark of a young team is that they are able to make things feisty, make games competitive, even against really good teams, but they aren't able to close out games. And the reason for that is because they haven't learned how to win, because they just do not know how to win a basketball game. Young teams luck into wins when the other team is allowing them to win through their own mistakes and through their own bad basketball. That happened against the Kings game. De'Aaron Fox played terribly. Malik Monk had a pretty bad game defensively. The Raptors were able to take advantage of the Kings' defense. That's not going to happen every single night. And obviously, RJ and Grady, they had really, really momentous games in that fourth quarter and overtime against the Kings. But my point being, like, these young teams like the Raptors, they can't go out and take the win, right? That's what a really good team does. Game on the line, they go out and they take the win on the road. We've seen past eras of the Raptors do that before. This team is still working through what winning means to them and what winning looks like, truthfully. How they get to wins, especially in those moments, and especially with Jakob Poeltl closing out and getting fouled out. So that's the way it is for the game. Them's the breaks. It's all good. I wanted to highlight RJ Barrett as a playmaker tonight because I thought he was excellent once again. Despite not scoring the ball well, RJ Barrett had a really massive impact on this game. Another 10-assist game for him where he was settling into looks, using his driving gravity to find shots for others. A little pistol action here from the Raptors, so dribble handoff into a pick and roll. RJ recognizes that they've sent two to the ball. Beautiful job of looking over top and finding Jakob Poeltl for the finish. This time high pick and roll with Jakob, and I really enjoy their connection together in the pick and roll. Watch how Jakob seals off Jokic for RJ to finish inside. And so the finishing ability is really opening up RJ's playmaking as well. Love the connection here with Ochai, who does a great job of slipping out of screens. Nuggets defense isn't set yet. Great job of the bounce pass to Ochai for the finish. Raptors love to run this play as well. A dribble handoff for RJ to get him in motion. He just drives to the basket, finds the kick out pass, and a great job finding Chris Boucher for the three there. It's fine that Chris didn't make that shot. Ultimately, it's highlighting just how elite RJ's rim gravity is and how it's opening up his playmaking. He's even getting better with his skip passes. So here, pick and roll, nice skip pass to Mobo. Gets the defense in rotation, but they're not able to capitalize. A little Spain pick and roll action here with the Raptors, and RJ does a great job of reading it, recognizing that there's a late rotation and finding Mobo. It was just a great block by Hunter Tyson. Again, as much as you credit the playmaker, you have to credit the screener as well. Ochai does a great job of slipping this screen. Nice bounce pass by RJ. Raptors in rotation, and you find Mitchell for the three. Empty side pick and roll between RJ and Jakob here. He gets downhill, finds the kick out pass, and it ends up in a Grady Dick three. That's the hockey assist for RJ right there. And the reason why he's so hard to guard in these situations is the driving game on the go. Help doesn't come, gets the layup here. This time, great activity defensively, steals it on the dribble handoff, goes all the way, and a beautiful behind the back pass for a and one. RJ is weaponizing that driving game to create these passes, but at the same time, his dominance as a transition player is also creating opportunities for him. Speaking of transition, pseudo transition does a great job of recognizing battle open. Again, it's making that read, having recognition, and it's about having the feel to make those plays. RJ has that. Beautiful connection between Jakob and RJ here, just dimes the pass right to Jakob, who finishes. A lot of this has to do with Jakob as well, too. Without his screening and diving ability, a lot of these guys wouldn't be able to have the success that they've been having so far this season. So I do want to shout him out as well. Jakob was superb in this game. Making these plays in the clutch, again, pistol action for the Raptors, 2 to the ball, does a great job of seeing over the top of the defense for a Mobo dunk. And even on turnovers, which RJ had a few towards the end of the game, you could see where the idea is here. Great job by Ochai to slip. They try a re-entry pass with RJ, but great job by Strother to poke it out. And it's about playing smart basketball. So here, Raptors run Spain pick and roll again. Again, 2 to the ball, Jokic hedges. And now Michael Porter Jr. has to make a decision whether he wants to tag the roller or help on the corner. RJ recognizes that, hits Ochai in the corner, who attacks the closeout and gets the layup. And so he is making complex reads on a game-to-game basis. That's what RJ Barrett is doing as a playmaker for this team. It's awesome to see because inevitably, like, Scottie Barnes is still an incredibly gifted passer and playmaker. It's one of his most important assets as an all-star. Immanuel Quickley is the point guard of this team, and he's going to be running the show a lot once he gets healthy as well. To add another playmaker onto this team that can run second units, that could be this guy who can create in secondary actions, is massive for the Toronto Raptors. Let's say that Scottie and IQ are running an action on one side of the floor. Nothing happens. They swing it to RJ. RJ pick and roll with Jakob. He's able to make that type of read. And so it creates a flow within your offense when you have a player like RJ Barrett who's able to make these secondary reads, but also work as a primary ball handler for you. I think that is such a massive development for him throughout this season. We're seeing that work really. And look, the fact that he's able to have multiple career high level games as a playmaker without these guys shows that there's more untapped potential there for a guy like RJ Barrett to be an even better playmaker. Crazy to say, but you know, last year Darko Rajakovic said that RJ's game kind of reminds him of Manu Ginobili. He wasn't making a direct comp, but the lefty playmaking ability, the fact that he's able to use his driving gravity to create plays for others, create openings for others, really makes him one of the most important weapons for the Toronto Raptors. And he absolutely thrived tonight. And while the Raptors lost, they didn't get a chance to win and get a victory in Denver and redeem themselves. And RJ himself struggled offensively as a scorer, missed that final shot. I ultimately think that, like, the Raptors are much closer to being a competitive team than we might give them credit for. This is a team, again, that is missing Scottie Barnes and Immanuel Quickley and is just fighting on a night-to-night basis. Their rookies are contributing at high levels. Jamal Shed had a great game tonight. Jonathan Mobo made a few plays tonight. Jamison Battle made a few plays tonight. The fact that they're getting these winning contributions from rookies, the fact that they're seeing development from RJ and Grady, and the fact that they have a really, really good starting center that ties it all together just makes me think that this Raptors team is actually better than we're giving them credit for. And ultimately, they're much closer to competing and winning than we might think. And so I'm not saying that this is going to happen this season. And I'm not saying that the Raptors are going to have some miraculous turnaround like they did in the 2013-2014 season where, you know, obviously they traded Rudy Gay and they went on that massive run, got the 3 seed, et cetera, et cetera. But I wouldn't rule it out of the question that this team makes a massive jump in the standings next season. You think of them potentially getting a top pick this year, adding that to their arsenal, and now you have the wheels in motion of a potentially really, really fun team. And that's what you guys should be excited for. Catherine Naker, she mentioned on Twitter, she said that, you know, hey, it's not trust the process anymore, it's enjoy the process. And I absolutely love that because that is something that I've been preaching to y'all. Enjoy the process, enjoy these videos like comment, subscribe, do all the things you guys do. We appreciate you guys. It is 1:43 in the morning, and I'm cooking the books for y'all. So thank you very much. Appreciate you guys as always. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Sacramento, redemption game for them or another W for the Raptors. See you guys later.